What's up, babies? Welcome to an episode of Get Close. I'm your co-host, Gio.
And I'm Bart. And what is that?
You and I'm Bert.
You know my favorite picture is that one right there. It's you and me right next to each other as kids.
Yeah.
And you have this picture, this face.
That's. Oh wait, where? Oh,
And then I have this one on the duck. And it's cuny because I've seen Taika make both of those faces.
Yeah.
And he literally is like.
I thought it was that
kids.
one up there with the pink shirt, and I'm like, I've seen that one.
Oh yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a little like, smug.
Yeah, it's cuny. He's like exactly in between us.
Yeah.
If you like had a chance to trade
Bodies?
yeah.
With who?
So that's the question. Would you rather trade bodies with Taika or with me for a day?
Trade bodies?
Yeah.
With Taika? Well, your body just seems like it produces the most foul shit.
Like what?
Like, I mean, your feet are gnarly, like your butt is gnarly, your fucking mouth is gnarly.
So you would want to definitely experience like what it's like to be a specimen.
There's like the fucking black shit coming out of your ears when they get clogged. Like, I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't bleed out of my genitals.
Are you sure about that? Fine. You got itchy genitals.
They're really itchy.
You got eczema genitals.
I know.
Um.
Either that or would you rather stuff yourself into a little 4-foot man?
Oh my God.
3-foot man.
I think I'd be Taika, just so I could feel like what like he just has so much energy, and he's like, we always joke around like, how many steps do you think that kid gets?
We need to get him a step tracker. This guy's running around 24/7.
Yeah.
I need to know how many steps this fool has.
If you had to guess, how many steps you think?
I think at least double. So I'm thinking like 20,000, 30,000.
I'm thinking like 40,000, honestly.
40,000 steps?
I'm thinking so. Because you have to also consider his legs. Like, his legs are itty bitty. So one of my steps is probably like 4 of his.
Because he could run, man.
And he runs everywhere.
Yeah, the times when I play like tag with them, like I can run faster, obviously. But the pace that he keeps going, he could just keep going forever. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Holy shit.
That's crazy because you are a lot for me. Like, you're always ahead in steps than I am.
Yeah.
Like, you're always like 1,000 over than me. And I'm like, how the fuck? We like literally are next to each other all day. I'm like, how did you get 1,000 ahead of me? And I think you move a lot too, and I don't realize it. But I don't see it. I mean, or at least I don't recognize it. But you're fucking moving so goddamn much. What are your steps right now?
Probably taking care of your ass. Fucking like getting you water.
What are your steps right now?
Moving around, doing all kinds of stuff. Let me see. 5,900.
5,100.
So just about 800 ahead of you.
Yeah. Were you always like this as a kid?
What, moving around?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You were like Taika?
I think I had crazy ADD where I didn't have control over it. So now like I get to use it in my creative space.
Yeah.
And it really helps me like think outside the box and stuff. But when I was a kid, like one of the most memorable moments of me getting yelled at is in 5th grade in Mrs. Vonnet's class. And I remember I was sitting in my seat listening to her fucking talk all boring, some fucking boring ass shit. And I remember going like this. I close my eyes open, and I hear, Bart, what are you doing? And my hand was in the turtle tank playing with the turtle across the room. And I was like, I looked around like, what the fuck? I put the turtle down. And then I'm like,
wait, what, it was in water?
Yeah, it's like fucking turtle juice. And I go back to my seat. And I just remember like holy shit, how did I teleport there? So I just knew I always had a lot of energy, and kind of like Taika, right? Where he's like going crazy, and like sometimes we'll just tell him, hey, chill.
He tells us that now.
Yeah, and he's like,
chill, pickle, chill.
Yeah, he's like, what do you mean? Because he doesn't know. But I'm like, when you're waving a fucking stuffed animal around, you're gonna knock this cup over, knock that cup over. So he just has too much energy in this room right now that it can cause damage. But it's hard to explain all that to a kid. And I think that's how I've been, because I'm like, oh man, I remember like a lot of like parents, I mean a lot of teachers telling my mom, or even my mom's friends, like when they would like babysit me, they're like, he's just too much. And it's hard to describe too much, until you have too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, dude. Yeah, no, you're not like that now, obviously, but fucking A. No, I remember, because you kind of like brought back a memory
Yeah.
of like an embarrassing moment. I don't know why this moment sticks out in my brain so much, but I was in first grade, and Miss Pendergrass's, that's her name, my teacher's name, and she was reading about like these different, I don't even know what the book is anymore, but I knew there was like a Mrs. Chatterbox. I'm sure it has a moral to it, right? Because all kids' stories do. And we were on the carpet and it was reading time and she was reading it to us. And then she called me Mrs. Chatterbox in front of the whole class. And that embarrassed me so much. I was so embarrassed that she called me out.
Because you talk too much?
Yeah, because I was talking, I think. And she called me Miss Chatterbox. And that crushed me.
Why did it crush you?
I don't know. Maybe because I think I really liked her as a teacher. And she was really pretty. And like, I remember now thinking back to how I'm going to describe her, she's going to sound fucking ridiculous. But she had like really long, pretty hair. And she had like little bangs and stuff. And she always liked wearing like pinks and blues. And like I remember her wearing this like sweater, like this knit sweater. And like she would make her makeup match her clothes. now looking back,
now she
crazy.
sounds like that. You know, the older lady that's
she was young.
I know, but the older lady style in Something About Mary,
like that.
the one that has a crazy ass tan, and
like
she has
that.
like
She didn't have a tan.
neon green eyeliner.
She didn't have a tan, but yeah, she was like slender and young, and like really pretty. And she would wear like blue eyeliner with like pink fucking eyeshadow and shit. And she was sweet. She was a sweet lady. But when she called me that, like I was crushed. I was like, oh my God. Why does that stick with me so much? Isn't that interesting?
Maybe is that an identity that you didn't think you had? Like you never saw yourself as a very talkative person?
Maybe that was like my first taste of like getting put in my place. Because after that, like it was just like every fucking teacher I had, I was like fucking chatting it up.
You know, for the yearbook, did you ever get voted like, you know, there's like most likely to succeed or whatever?
Dude, I don't know what my issue was in high school, but like I didn't care. And I wasn't trying to be rebellious. Like I wasn't doing it on purpose, but I had zero motivation to be in my yearbook. So I didn't even take my senior class. I didn't.
Yeah, but they don't. It's not up to you.
Oh no, I wasn't cool.
All your peers vote you in.
No, I wasn't that cool. I did a good job of like not being cool.
Oh.
No.
All of my yearbooks, it was either most humorous or most talkative. The humorous one, I'm like, okay, I get it, because I try to be funny in class, because class is so fucking boring. Someone's got to lighten it up. The most talkative one, I remember like I have one, there's a picture of me like holding a phone. It was like me and this other chick.
Oh, was that staged? Like they're like here talkative?
Yeah, because once you win it, they go, okay, we got to take that picture for the yearbook. So
dude, was it a fucking landline?
Yeah, it was a landline with a coil. So I'm taking a picture, and I remember seeing the chick, and I'm like, oh yeah, for sure, you're most talkative. Like she's the one that likes to talk to everyone. She kind of has that Sherry Cola energy.
Oh, okay.
Right? And then for me, I'm like, can you imagine me with Sherry Cola energy?
No.
No, right? I was like,
why were you most talkative?
I don't know, but people voted me for that. I'm like, what
grade?
The fuck? I think it was like junior high, like 7th or 8th grade.
What?
And I'm like, what? Are you serious?
What do they classify as talkative? Like, is it that you know? No, that would be more popular.
Maybe I'm just popping up, like just starting conversations and stuff. So I can see maybe like in elementary school, maybe I'm like way more physical. You know, like me bringing my friend like Kat to school and stuff like that.
But that's elementary, you said. But
yeah.
You said this happened in intermediate.
Yeah, so I think maybe that the physical went to me constantly starting conversations. Hey, what's going on?
Really?
Can you picture me as like a fucking extrovert?
No.
No way, right?
Well, I don't know if a talkative. Yeah, no, I can't.
Like me sparking a random conversation. Hey,
no.
What's going on?
Did it catch you off guard, or were you like, yeah?
No, that's why when I saw the chick, my counterpart, I was like, oh yeah, for sure. And I'm like,
not when you saw the counterpart, but when you got voted that position, or they just surprise you and they just pull you out of school, and that same day they tell you they take a picture.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
They're like, hey Bart, you're like you're this, and I was like, are you serious?
Honestly, I don't even know how they get that. Like, do you vote somewhere?
Yeah, I think all the class like writes, they nominate, right, and then I think that's the first pass. Then the second pass, they're like the top 3 most talkative is blank, 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 and now you vote on those 3.
I don't even think I even did that. Maybe I was absent that day or something, but I don't recall any of that. I fucking hated high school.
But that's junior high.
Oh, junior high was a weird space.
I didn't hate high school. I hated myself in my high school.
What do you mean?
Like my first high school I went to, it was fucking dope. It was a really good school. Like, I always talk about it.
Did you know it was dope when you were in it, or is it because you traveled so much that you're like, fuck, man, that was a shit?
It was dope when I was in it.
And this is Cerritos High?
Yeah, Cerritos High School. It was at that time. I think things changed. But so what I really loved about my high school is, one, it was crazy diverse, like culturally diverse. So like on Culture Day, all the clubs would set up like little stands and stuff, so all the kids can like go around the quad and like talk to people.
Yeah.
So there's a Filipino club, Indian club, Mexican club, like there's all these cultures, right?
Yeah.
And it was so like intermixed that you'll see white people in the Indian club, or you'll see a Mexican in the Chinese club, because they're just tight. So they're like, oh, my best friend.
Was that me? Were you shutting me out right there?
Maybe. Yeah, but you'll have like, because the people are best friends.
Yeah.
So they'll be in those clubs.
Yeah. So
that was fucking cool. And I remember going, I'm like, wow, this is fucking diverse. This is fucking dope. And then like,
because prior to that, you were in junior high.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you go to you'll see skater groups, and then there'll be like an Asian dude in there, you know? And so I always thought that was fucking dope. Or you'll see like an Asian gang, and you'll see like some white dude with bangs and shit.
Cerritos had Asian gangs?
Yeah, yeah. And you'll see like Asian gangs. Oh yeah, you have like it was crazy. It was like, it was, you know, when you watch a high school movie and you see the trope, right? Like the jock.
That was it.
The artist, the whatever. You saw that at the school, except it was a realistic reflection.
Do they have movies like that still? Like high school movies?
Yeah, like Spider-Man, Tom Holland.
Was he in high school?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not surrounded in. It's not like a high school movie. It's just about a teenager who.
Yeah, but it's set in a high school, and you go, oh, that's the jock that picks on the people.
Oh, got it. Right. Okay, good.
Right, like even the guy, the Indian guy, the guy that hates Spider-Man, but is such a
biggest fan.
Big, yeah, like you go, oh, he's the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, our school was like that, but a realistic reflection of the time in the 90s.
Yeah.
So you'll see, oh, the cholos, everyone fucking white tees, pressed dickies, bald head or whatever. Or you'll go and you'll see like, oh, the skinheads, you know, everyone has a fucking neo-Nazi symbol tatted on, but only wear wife beaters. And so it was a reflection of the time of our tropes. So not that movie tropes, but it was like the movie version of our tropes.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool to see, also even intermingling in that, seeing like white dudes with bangs and Asian gangs and stuff like that. And then and like we would have like In-N-Out truck day, McDonald's truck day, Power 106 would come to our school to perform or do whatever. And I was like, oh, this is like fucking like legit shit, you know? And then our breakdance crews were doing like the moves that you see on TV. Not people trying to do those, but they were like doing those moves. And I was just, and then we had a dude go to the NFL. And then we had a guy that was a pro skater at the time at our school. So it was just like, it felt like this high school.
And how do you know all this? Like,
it just word gets around. It goes, oh, like, I think his name is Jermaine something. He's like, oh, Jermaine's going to go to the NFL. And you're like, oh shit, what the fuck? Just word gets around, you know? And then like,
maybe because you were most talkative. Because
like,
I don't know anything about any of my fucking peers or anything. I didn't give a fuck.
Oh, maybe. And you're like, oh, something Castro, whatever. Oh, he just got sponsored by
Vans. Do you guys have
Vans.
heavy school spirit?
At Cerritos? Yeah. So during the pep rallies, man, they go all out. The whole schedule changes. Like they'll be like, first, second, third, fourth, fifth period. All the periods all of a sudden go from like, I don't know, like an hour to only 30 minutes long. So the pep rally can be its full 30 minutes or an hour.
Whoa.
So you have pep rally schedule. And even like homeroom, right? Like, you know, on homeroom in those movies, it's like, good morning, Cerritos High School. Today is April 24th, Tuesday. And we all know, but and you hear that going on just in the.
How cool.
Yeah, like, you know, like Beverly Hills 90210?
Yeah, it was like that.
Like, you know, like Brian Austin Green, he's a school DJ, right? And he's like saying those things. It was like that.
Was that in high school or were they in a college?
That was in high school. It was like that. Like, coming up this Friday, don't forget, it's Sadie Hawkins. It's not too late to whatever. Make sure you get your crush.
How
blah, blah,
cool.
blah, 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 blah. Like, you know, like, it's always like that. And it's like, shout outs to Mrs. Barbara, whatever. She beat cancer. So if you see her around campus, don't forget to say, what's up? You know, like that kind of shit.
How rad.
Yeah. It's like.
I thought that was just movie shit.
Exactly. Until I went to this high school and I'm like, dude, this is fucking like the movies. Our football games, packed bleachers. every single theme that we did was like legit the way the movies are. And I was like, man, this is fucking cool.
How long did you last there?
Oh man, only like a year and a half, because my fucking dumbass was such a troublemaker. I got in so much fucking trouble. I literally had detention like every day. And yeah, I had detention every day. I ended up getting kicked out. And so that's why I didn't hate high school. I hated myself in high school because I didn't even feel like I was able to take out.
Yeah, but is this in retrospect, or was it as soon as you were kicked out, you're like, fuck, I'm so disappointed in Bart?
The whole fucking step of the way. Yeah, man. Like, we had this thing called Model United Nations. Have you guys heard of it? So Model United Nations is
but
almost...
I can imagine what it is.
It's almost like...
the United Nations?
Like debate, yeah. Right? So what's pretty cool is you have to be in an honors history class to get in it. And I was lucky enough to get into honors history. I was in Model United Nations. And what ends up happening is if you have a conference, every person that's going to the conference gets assigned a country and gets assigned a position, right? So like, let's say you might be Vietnam and you might be pro-child labor. The other person is America, anti-child labor. When you go to these conferences, it's all the Model United Nations from all the other schools. So you don't even know these people.
From all the other schools?
Yeah, they could be from Pennsylvania. They could be from New York, Texas, whatever. Everyone comes dressed as if you're going to Model United Nations. So it's suit and tie and all that stuff. And you sit there and then...
Was your mom super proud of you? Because I feel like anytime your mom sees you in a suit and tie, it's like, oh, he's doing big shit.
I don't know. She probably just hated my guts during this period. And you don't go as Giovanna, you don't go as Bart, you go as your country. So your placard literally says that. It'll say Vietnam. And then so when you're in there,
what was your country?
I forgot, but like every conference you're a different.
Oh,
so you exercise that part of your brain, you know, because sometimes you're pro child labor, sometimes you're against child labor, sometimes you're pro oil drilling, sometimes you're against oil drilling. But it exercises your brain and it makes you research facts on why that country has to do that, right? So when you go to these conferences, you're sitting there and it's like Vietnam or whatever, and you're talking to someone. You're like Vietnam would like to motion to do whatever. So it's literally like an actual conference group, and then they'll be like, Uruguay opposes. It's like that. And then there's like a moderator that's like, you know, like, because you can't just speak out of turn.
You sound like a fucking geek, dude.
Yeah. But I was like, dude, this is fucking...
But it's actually really dope.
This is fucking dope, right? Like, it's really preparing you for the real world, especially if you want to go into fucking politics and all that shit. But my fucking dumbass, I think for one conference, I was actually pro-child labor. And of course, I have to make a whole joke out of it. So when I went up to give my speech, I think I was talking about how the only way to get like Victoria's Secret lace to be that beautiful and that intricate, you need small little fingers. So I was like, imagine if like you use adult fingers to sew the bras, like people's nipples are just
You're gonna
pop out, whatever. And I just see all
the jaws dropping, like
all my homies are fucking cracking the fuck up, laughing, whatever. And then the teacher in the room was like, get out. Just immediately, just get out.
So this is the teacher that's the moderator, not necessarily your home.
Yeah, it could be a teacher from a different school.
Right.
Because it's traveling around like games, like fucking football games, right? Yeah. It's like you're traveling around. And I remember going outside, fucking smoking a cigarette with the homies. I'm like, dude, what the fuck going on, man?
In high school?
Yeah, I've been smoking. So I'm like smoking a cigarette with my man. It's fucking stressful shit. I'm trying to represent Vietnam in this place. And then obviously, you know, and it's all
respecting.
So in that, and I had to do research to write funny shit, you know? Because I found out like Victoria's Secret was like manufactured in Vietnam and all that stuff. So I was like, it's based in reality.
Yeah.
And but me, like, the moment I got kicked out, I'm like, fuck, I lost such a dope opportunity.
Dang, so you knew right off the bat.
Right off the bat, I'm like, why do I have to be like this? Why can't I be like that fucking geek right there who could just do a fucking good job?
You're just talking shit.
Yeah, man, look at these fucking nerds. Fucking nerds, like, maximizing their brain, doing such a good job. I'm probably going to go to fucking Harvard after this. What do you
think it was? It was just you being suppressed so much? Because the jokes isn't, like, a thing. And maybe it's just your wild-ass ADD.
Maybe. I think I
can't see how it was your parents. Or is it because you're so repressed that, like, now you need to get it all out?
Do you ever have this feeling? Like, let's say you're driving on the road, right? And you see a fork in the road. This side is a straight line. This side goes like this. Which road are you gonna go on?
Clearly the straight line.
Why?
Because I just don't want to hassle with all the fucking this.
I know that's the problem. The minute I see that, I always go, oh, there it is. So I have to go, wee, 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 wee. So like that's my problem.
Why?
I don't know. That's my problem. So like I see like my position, right?
Even now you do that?
Oh fuck yeah.
Give me an example.
But now I get paid to do it.
Give me an example. Oh, just to be funny guy.
Literally everything. JK News, what we talk about, fuck or whatever. It's like there's a serious topic or someone's vulnerable. I can't wait to dunk on the motherfucker because it's so fucking fun.
Okay, I think it was just
right.
Yeah.
Even like the famous like JK News joke where like I don't know what he talks about Anthony or whatever, and I was like, oh, but you even win. It's like obviously I see two choices like, oh, why would they do that? But that's not the wee 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 wee. You know. So for me, it's like I just see every time there's something that happens, two roads. I'm like, this one's way more fun. But then the minute I take that one, I'm like, oh man, why'd I do that? Now I got fucking kicked out. Look what happened.
Oh my god.
And I see Taika having the same thing too. He's
yeah,
always
luckily
picking. He's always picking the funner choice of the two.
I know, and it actually takes a really smart person to be able to do that, because that means you're thinking. So I could see it, and I think because it's only because I'm older that I have the experience to recognize it. But if we were the same age, fuck man, it would go over my head too much. But I see his little gears turning, and then I'm like, don't even think about it, dude. Because he goes, and I'm like, stop it, nope, cut it out, we're going that way.
Yeah.
Damn. No, I didn't hate myself in high school. I just hated high school.
I hated myself in that high school because the high school was so fucking dope.
But you liked yourself in all the other ones because you're like, I'm dope.
I don't know. I just started to hate myself a lot. I just feel like I got into a lot of trouble more and more and more. And I just started going from like not maximizing high school to like, where the fuck am I taking my life right now?
Whoa, that's so deep. Yeah, I didn't hate myself. I don't think I ever hated myself. Like I did have suicidal thoughts, but I never got close to carrying that out. But it wasn't because of me. It was because of just my situation, you know, where I'm like, fuck, man, I have nobody. I'm so by myself. Nobody understands me. No one's even trying to understand me. No one is even listening to me. Everyone thinks the worst of me. I'm like, fuck, man. How do I get out of here? That was my only option. But I didn't hate myself.
Well, you also probably didn't get into the kind of trouble I did.
I didn't.
I got kicked out of 2-3 high schools.
Yeah, because it is different when your parents are just saying that you're fucking up versus the rest of the world. Because with your parents, you can at least be like, you are tripping. I'm fucking fine everywhere else except here. So it must be you guys, right? I mean, you're probably not thinking that deeply, but you don't feel like everyone's telling you you're a fuck up. I didn't have that. I mean, I did have my parents telling me that, but everyone else around me wasn't saying that.
Yeah, and also when you find yourself in handcuffs, you're like, what is going on?
When did you fucking handcuff?
A lot. I got arrested a lot during that whole period.
How? When? For what?
What?
I don't remember you saying you're getting like arrested in high school.
All the time.
What?
Yeah.
Give it to me. That's why I'm like, how? When? How? For what?
What do you mean? Like all the time. Like even growing up in the SGV, you get hassled by cops. There's time I broke into a house. I was on my knees. The time
they caught you when you broke into a house?
Yeah, there's a.
I didn't know this story.
That was the reason that I got kicked out of Cerritos High School.
Because you broke into a house?
So this one we weren't even breaking in to steal anything. We were just fucking around having a good time.
What do you mean? You just were bored and you're like, I'm gonna go into that house and see what snacks they have?
No, so there's this across the street from Cerritos High School, there's this park called Heritage Park. Next to Heritage Park, there's an abandoned house that is commonly known to all the people that went to Cerritos High School. So people would throw house parties there or do random things there because they knew it was an abandoned house. And so one day when I skipped school, we decided, let's go kick it over there. So we broke in. We're kicking in at the house, waiting for.
Oh, breaking in is different. I thought like people were occupying the space.
That's what I'm saying. That's an abandoned house this time. Yeah. And then one of my friends had like bottle rockets. So we're like, oh, let's have bottle rocket fights. So they sound like guns, obviously. So we're like just shooting each other in the backyard. And then I think the neighbors probably called the cops because they probably thought there was gunshots or whatever.
Yeah.
So the cops come, and then they
And you're wearing baggy clothing and all that?
yeah, baggy clothing, all that stuff. They kick the door down. They see all of us. We look like thugs. And then they had us on our knees. And then
You did not look like a thug. You look so young.
I mean, the clothes though, you know.
Oh, I see. So you
I'll-
just look like a bad guy.
Yeah. So put us on our knees, all that stuff, and then and stick guns in our faces. And at this time, like Asian gangs were rampant.
Got it.
So they also have Asian gang units.
Got
you
it.
know?
Got it.
So they're just like they have specific
Extra high alert.
extra high alert, and those guys are extra motivated to put guys like this away. So they come in, they hassle us. They found a knife on me.
Oh my God! What the fuck, Bart?
And then during this time, I guess they brought me back to school, and the principal already had it out for me. So I think his way of kicking me out of school was saying, well, if he had a knife on him, then during school hours, if he would have been at school, he would have had the knife on school, which is an expellable offense. So that's how he tied it together, and he ended up expelling me from school.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Instead of trying to help you, he's like, I don't want to deal with this problem. Get him out. But I also get it because he has a lot of problems because he's got so many kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Dang. No, I can't relate, dude. I just didn't like the people. I didn't like how people problem solved. I didn't like the bickering. I didn't like what they talked about. Like I couldn't connect with anyone in school. Even like my own friend circle. Like I loved them and they were fun, but I still felt like I had to be a different person to fit in. And I didn't like it. I couldn't wait to get out of high school. I couldn't wait to like not be in that environment. Like when it came to like being in like, hey, your not your senior, what the fuck am I talking about? Your senior photo, senior citizen photo. But yeah, your senior photo, like you go on a weekend and like you get dressed up and you like wear something specific. And I'm like, I don't want to be in a fucking yearbook. Like I don't even want to fucking be here.
Why? Why don't you want to be there? You just
That's
don't feel
what I
like
mean.
you just feel like you're understood, or you just it wasn't the right way to express yourself.
I just felt like so out of place. Like I just felt like everyone was so young in their brain. You know? Like the way they would like what they found funny or what they found exciting or like what was fun. Like it was just so boring to me. Like it just felt like they were all little kids.
Would you prefer to have been homeschooled, you think? If you go back
Fuck
in time?
no, dude. I wanted to get out of the house so bad. I was so lonely.
What do you think would have been the ideal situation for you then? Like if you could go back in time, like how would you carry out your like years 14 to 18?
So I don't know if me feeling that way is a result of me just feeling so lonely, or if it was just I was in the wrong school. Because I don't know, like your school sounds fun as fuck. You know, it sounds like it had just so many different types of people, where mine just felt like it was just a bunch of little kids. So I guess maybe going to a better school, because I mean, I wasn't academically above anyone. Like I was average or maybe even below average. But again, I don't know if that's a result of me just being so lonely that I didn't give a shit about academia that I'm like, I just want to be with fucking warm souls. Yeah, but I couldn't wait to leave. I was just like, I hate it here.
Did you like volleyball? Because you played so many years too in varsity.
Yeah, it was fun. That was fun.
Did you feel like that was kind of like your tribe a little bit or no?
Nah, not really. It was fun for the volleyball. But it wasn't like, I'm not having deep conversations with anyone. Like, I'm not really connecting with anyone like that. Because they were just talking about boys. And I liked boys, don't get me wrong. But I wasn't as hung up about it as, like, everyone else was. Like, I wasn't trying to be in a relationship. And I wasn't trying to talk about drama. And I wasn't trying to gossip. Like, it was just so boring to me.
You think you would have liked it more in, like, an art school or something? Like a performing arts school?
Maybe, but I really wasn't an artist. I'm a fucking shit show, you know? I did enjoy college because now you have so many walks of life. You know, so many different people from all walks of life.
Community college or 4-year?
4-year. Yeah, community college just felt like another high school.
Oh, I see. You didn't feel like
I didn't hate that though, because now I was picking, you know, the route that I wanted to take. I was picking so many different things. Yeah. So like it felt like, okay, I can control it. There's not bells that I have to like from this time to this time. Like, I felt like an adult in control, so I like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
If I didn't want to go to class, I don't go to class. If I wanted to hang out and do some bullshit, I'll do some bullshit. But high school was just like, bro, I feel like I'm getting stupid.
You feel like you're getting stupid?
Yeah, it was such a waste of time for
Even
me.
in class when you're learning shit, you weren't like, oh, I should better learn
I
this
wasn't
material.
learning shit. No, because I'm just like, this is just all so stupid. That's probably why I'm a fucking dumbass now, you know? But at that time, I'm just like, what the fuck is all this? Maybe I was just depressed.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you might have been depressed so that you couldn't even really figure out how to take it all in.
Maybe. Because, like, yeah, no. Like, we didn't even have school spirit like that. Like, we didn't have, like, fucking someone announcing shit. You know? Like, it was just like a whatever school.
Because I know I hated school, like the studying part of it. But I always knew, like, I'm like, oh, I can see how this is helpful. Like, oh, I could see how English is important so that I can, like, get my thoughts across better and I'm not speaking dumb, you know? Or I don't speak good, bad,
Yeah.
you know? I'm like, you don't want to sound like that. So I get that. And in history, I'm like, oh, I should probably know how the world operates. Because then if you learn, like, what kind of mistakes we made in the past, then we know how to create a better future. But I'm like, why can't I just get myself to enjoy it? You know, so I understood like a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like, or even like in PE, right? Where you're like trying to see if you could touch your toes. I'm like, oh, I can see why like you want to be kind of flexible. I can see why you want to be able to run a mile and not feel like you're about to die. I get it. But I'm like, but why can't I get myself to do the things that are supposed to be good for me? That's the part I didn't understand. And I think that's the part I hated myself for.
I see.
Where I see all the fucking nerds just fucking going, oh, yeah, PE time. I'm going to run my best, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck, man?
No, maybe I was depressed. Yeah, maybe I was depressed because I'm just like, I just wanted to connect with anyone and I just felt like I couldn't connect with anyone. Yeah, so I was just like, I didn't give a fuck about why I was doing any of that because I'm like, what's the fucking point? I enjoyed history. There were certain topics I enjoyed. You know, I definitely enjoyed it. There were teachers that I enjoyed. There were some people that I thought were cool. Like, obviously, my friend circle was cool, but it just felt like I had to, like lower a lot of myself. Not like, oh, I'm so smart, but just I had to suppress a lot of it because I'm just like, I don't relate to a lot of you guys right now. So, like, I have to, like, be with you guys and whatever you guys are talking about, whatever you guys find is fun. Because I'm like, this is not fun. Like, all this shit's whack.
What's fun to you now?
Like at this age, what's fun to me now? I like building. So like business is fun to me. Right? Like zooming out a lot, business is fun to me because I get to build shit and I'm a builder and I like building. I like creating things. I like seeing things go from like just an idea to like a physical thing. Like I like that process. I like working for the sake of the build. So I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. I enjoy being outdoors. I enjoy having really deep conversations with people. I enjoy learning about people. Like people really fascinate me, you know? How they problem solve, what they think, how they view the world, like all that stuff's so fascinating. So like that's why like even with business, it's so fascinating how people build it because it's all the thought process, right? It's just a trial and error. Like I'm thinking this, so I'm gonna try this. I try this, shit, I collect my data. Fuck, let me think of something else. Okay, and now I'm gonna apply it. Let me collect that data. Oh shit, it succeeded. Let me repeat that or whatever. But it still comes from a person, and I think people are so interesting.
You think you would have liked maybe building a business in high school? Be one of those guys, like a high school entrepreneur?
I think so. I think that would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, maybe it was just like the task at hand wasn't stimulating enough, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, or it could just be I was fucking depressed and so lonely. Yeah, I was so lonely, man. Like I can't stress that enough. Like my older brother and my older sister, minimum 10-year gap. My little sister, 6-year gap. And then my parents are both working. The area that I grew up in is like,
Yeah, you're not allowed out.
I can't leave like past my gates. So I just stayed indoors all day.
Did you have a best friend in high school?
Yeah. I had a best friend in high school.
Did you guys talk and connect hard or no?
For sure, but I felt like there was, and this is probably coming from me too, there was always like a wall. Like we couldn't really get too vulnerable. Like
Really?
now, yeah, maybe it's I don't know how to get vulnerable, so I pick people that also don't know how to get vulnerable. So like it wasn't very deep, you know? Like it was we gelled really well. I mean, it could all be me, you know, but it just didn't feel like if I lost this person, I'm devastated. Like I just lost my best friend. You know, when we parted ways, I was just like, okay. And we parted ways not on bad terms. But it's just life took us in different directions and I'm like, I don't want to go in that direction. I want to go in my direction. And I just went in my direction. And then, you know, we just stopped talking more and more. We hung out with different people and I'm like, I'm cool with that. Isn't that wild? Yeah, who knows? I'm such a weird person.
You were lonely because you don't even have a best friend during that time.
I
You
did.
didn't have your siblings. I mean, that's not a real best friend.
Yeah, but
that was just out of your friends. They were the best, but that wasn't a best friend.
Yeah, no, I didn't have like that. Well, I felt like I couldn't even really build that. Maybe I just don't know how to connect properly, you know?
Yeah.
Or like usually you go through some shit that makes you become best friends. Like you're stealing some shit and something happens is that you guys get like you guys bond more. But because I was on such lockdown, like the time I could spend with people, like we didn't really get to experience a lot. Or this could all just be in my own brain. Yeah. So like whenever people, I just was never attached to anyone. I don't know. Wild, right?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah. I was never like, oh, that's my best friend. I want a best friend. I was just like, hey, I'm cool being a lone wolf or a lone whatever you want to call me. Like it was okay.
Are you cool being that now?
I'm pretty cool being that now. Yeah, when you don't really hear me say like, "Oh, I wish this and I want to do that and whatever." Like, I'm pretty chill. Maybe on low maintenance? No, am I not?
But I'm your best friend now.
Yeah, and we have pretty deep conversations. We talk all the fucking time about everything.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy.
What's crazy?
Because I had so many best friends.
Yeah.
That it's hard for me to imagine not having one for so long, all of high school.
I had people I was really tight with and like they were my people, you know, like we hang out all the time, like
that's all surface shit.
Yeah, then I guess I only had surface relationships.
I'm talking about like someone socks you in the face, no questions asked, they jump out of their chair and are beating the fuck out of the other person.
Oh, I don't know if that I don't know it was never tested.
But you know it though. Just from other little scenarios, you know it.
I had girlfriends like that.
And then you could talk about anything. And if you need to run away from home, you go to their house, and you know they'll cover up for you. And if your mom tries to call their house, they'll cover it up for you.
Yeah, I had that.
That's pretty tight then.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like you were still alone?
I just didn't feel like a deep connection. You know, maybe I'm searching for something that's impossible. Who knows? But like, yeah, I just didn't feel like I. Because isn't like a friendship something where, or at least for best friends, where it's like you need that person around? Like they're just part of your life.
Or they get you and you get them.
Maybe just that. Maybe I didn't.
And it makes everything better.
Maybe they didn't get me.
Like
Maybe I didn't even get myself.
Like something happens, like, oh man, this pizza's good. Oh, they gotta try. I gotta try with them. Like if something dope happened, you're like, oh, I'd rather do it by myself.
I don't remember feeling like that.
Wow.
I know. I'm a fucking weirdo.
Damn, that's crazy. What about now? If you try something bomb, do you go like, oh, Papa has to try this?
Of course. I tell you all the time.
Oh, that's cutie.
Like, I'd rather not do it to save it so that we can do it together. Because I'm like, oh, I already know.
That's cutie.
Yeah. I don't know. Or maybe I was just so, I was so lost in myself and not knowing who the fuck I was that, like, I just kind of like, or maybe I just didn't even understand fucking friendship interactions. Who knows? Because I was so lonely, you know, that I didn't know that, like, this is the pattern of friendship. You tell secrets, you open up, you're vulnerable, or what the fuck is even vulnerable, you know? Maybe it could have been all that. And maybe it's me just having all these walls up or just not even knowing that that's what is supposed to transpire between two different people. Wild, right? Because like in junior high, I had a best friend and we would talk for fucking hours on the phone and stuff. But even then it was like we would just talk stupid shit and it's like little kid stuff, you know?
I mean, you can't get too deep when you're fucking
Right.
12.
Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. So like that's why it didn't feel like, and then when we went to high school, it just felt like we were just very different people from two different walks of life. Because she's Asian and her parents wanted her to be super innocent. Like they kind of act like little kids. Like even till this day, like we connected. I probably haven't talked to her in a couple of years now, but when I tried connecting with her again, I was like, whoa, you're still a little kid. Like I don't know, it just felt like her like she was just kind of stunted, you know, like emotionally. Like she just liked collecting like little kid things and like was still that little girl that I knew back then, but she was like now she has a career woman, you know, and she was
Wow.
going to be a mom. And I was like, whoa, this is weird. Like you stayed kind of like young.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know. I feel like you're still that little kid, you know, when I talk to you, you're still complaining about the same thing. And I'm like, this is what we can't be friends.
Wow.
I know her, but I'm like, this is not someone I want to hang out with and
Yeah.
like have a vulnerable conversation with because you sound so young. Wild, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. I don't know. Maybe I take off after my mom. My mom's the same way.
Oh, yeah. She told me, when I go visit on the weekends, when I go to like shoot JK News, I'm living with their mom. I always talk to her and I'm like, hey, like, do you feel lonely or do you like the way it is? She goes, I actually really like the way my arrangement is right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, you like living by yourself? She goes, yeah, I wake up, I do the stuff that I want, makes me happy. She's like, especially like growing up, you know, when you're a mom, you live your life for your children or you live your life for your husband. And it feels like for once I get to really live my life for myself. And I
Yeah.
really like it. And I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if it's also like maybe like a person that feels big emotions. You know, maybe like we just get exhausted and we're introverted.
Yeah.
Because we do feel a lot of people's energies like right off the bat. So
Man,
maybe it
I
could be
married a
something-
weird one.
Oh, says the fucking guy over here that fucking look at you. Like, what are you doing with your hands? What's going on? You're super weird.
What do you mean? This is the croissant hands.
Exactly. We're both fucking weird people. And why is that weird?
What?
Me not feeling like I need a lot of people.
I don't know. You're a loser in high school.
Was I a loser? I knew
Yeah,
a lot of people,
you're a
and a lot of
loner.
people knew me.
You're a
Not like
loner.
yours though. I think you're very popular.
You're a loner.
Yeah.
I don't think I was popular at all.
But a lot of people knew you.
They knew me, but not for good things. It's just the guy that's fucking getting.
Okay, you're notorious. That's still popular.
Yeah. I'm more of a notorious McGregor
Yes.
than I am a fucking.
Right, but they're still popular regardless.
Well, popular is like everyone likes you.
Okay, fine. So you're notorious.
I don't know if people like me. They just know I was the guy that probably lived at the principal's office.
Yeah, fine. Well, yeah, you're notorious. I don't know, man. I'm a fucking weird person. I'm a loner. I don't know if I hate that though.
Do you like friends when you're a kid?
What does that mean?
Like Taika, he loves playing with friends.
Does he?
I don't think he's a loner. Yeah, because he would really much rather be with people and like do things than to just go off to the corner and just do his own thing.
That's the bummer about growing up in a house with other siblings. I don't get stories told about how I was as a kid because I don't remember. Yeah, like you have so many stories because your mom only remembers you because she only had you.
Yeah.
Right? The same way I can only think of Taika's stuff and I can remember everything. But if I were to ask like my brother, he's going to be like, wait, I think that's what wait, was that him or was that him? Or like, am I mixing up my stories? Am I mixing up my kids? It all kind of just becomes this one little thing. So yeah, I don't know how I was as a kid.
Oh, wow.
No clue. I have no stories to share.
Well, what about just from your own experience though? Do you remember going like, oh man, I really wanted to play with kids when I was a kid?
I did. I really wanted to play with kids when I was a kid. I did. I remember there was this chick that lived in the apartments next to where I grew up. And her name was Joanna. My name's Giovanna. And then I always wanted to play with her so bad because we were the same age and she was the only other little girl on my block. And like since my parents never let me go out, like I would just see her in passing. I'm like, fuck, I wish I was her friends. And I do remember like rare instances where the neighborhood kids would come over to my house and we did play and it was like the coolest shit ever. But I think that only probably happened like once or twice. Yeah. And I was like, this is fucking heaven.
Do you beg? You go like, can I please go over? Can I please go over?
Of course.
Can they
I'm telling you,
please come over?
I think that's why I would have probably done better in business, like a school that focused on entrepreneurship, because I was always trying to think of an angle of how to get what I want while still giving in to what, like, so if they give me a reason as to why not, then I try to find out what is it that's preventing them from wanting to do that. And then I would try to like stick to that and then change it. Right. So if they were like, your safety, you can't go here because you're not going to be safe. So I'm like, well, what do you consider safe? Well, and then I would look at the patterns, right? I'm like, okay, so they think teachers are safe. They think school is safe. Cool. So I can get what I want if school offers it. So I'm like, hey, Mom, I can study abroad because it's a school program. They have all the school stuff set up there. You think school is safe, right? Yeah. Well, then can I do that through school? It's still academic. It's safe, blah, 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 blah. No. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm always trying to work an angle. Yeah.
That reminds me of this one time. I wonder what you would do. But I remember this one time I was supposed to meet up with one of my friends, and I think I was a freshman or a sophomore in high school. We're supposed to meet up with them. I walked to his house, and I found out he wasn't home yet. So I was just like, what should I do? I'm like, oh, I know what'd be funny. I'll break into the house, and then when him and his parents come inside, he'll be like, what? You're already inside? That's crazy. So I looked for any loose window, and then I was like, oh, cool. This window upstairs looks cracked open. So I went on the side, boundary wall. Then I jumped on the roof, and then I opened the window. I popped the screen door open, slide the glass door, go inside. And then when they pulled up, and I heard them use the keys to open the front door. I opened. I was like, ta-da! And then the mom was like, you need to go home right now and never talk to Brian again. And I was like, what? And you're like, yeah, you're not welcome here ever again.
Whoa.
And I was like, and at that time, I felt like I just made a new best friend, because that's when some of us in Drumline were getting really tight. So I started hanging out with him way more, and we started having all kinds of sleepovers and stuff. And that like crushed me. And I remember going home and then calling like maybe like a week later, like, hey, Brian, is it for real? I can't come over. He goes, yeah. He goes, I'm not even supposed to be talking to you on the phone right now. And that really destroyed my relationship with him. And I'm like, fuck, that sucks.
So what part are you wondering what I would do?
Like, let's say you come home and then...
As an adult?
Yeah, with Taika, and Taika's high school friend broke into her house. What would you do?
Well, obviously I don't know the extent of how much fuckery you did prior to this, because that's just your memory and that's the one that you remember, right? But I don't know if there's a pattern of already a bunch of bullshit. He already got in trouble in school because he is hanging out with you. So I don't know that history.
I don't think so.
If it was one
I was just sleeping over at Brian's house all the time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she saw a lot of your bullshit. And maybe that was like the straw that broke the camel's back, right? So I'll assume for this scenario that it's the first time.
Yeah.
And I just met you. I think I would have a conversation with you and be like, that what you did is not right. It's not correct. And then I would probably try to talk to you. I don't know if I would say you can't see this person ever again. But I have a feeling. I have a really big, strong feeling that she already saw what type of kid you are and how you think. And she probably didn't want you around her kid. Because you're sleeping over so much, she's probably picking up on all these patterns. You're probably talking a certain way. You're probably being a certain way. You know what I mean?
I was such a polite kid. Almost all parents love me.
You always tell me how, like, you're always getting kicked out.
Kicked out of what?
Like different like friend, like parents are telling you. Like,
that's when I was in elementary school. Once I got into high school, a lot of parents loved me.
Oh, I see. Then I don't know.
Because I knew how to be like very respectful and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I was just way more polite. And I think that's probably thanks to my mom's upbringing.
Yeah.
Where like I was probably more Korean than Koreans were. So I think a lot of like people are just like, oh, this kid's really, really respectful. And it's like always respect like the rules of the house.
Yeah. It seems kind of weird that it was just that one instance and she's like, never again. It feels like maybe you just did a lot of shit and she was like, I can't do this. This kid's going to corrupt my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if it was like a troubled kid like that, I don't know. I only know what my mom did, so I can only go based off of that. That's my baseline. You know, so when my mom didn't like the girl that I wanted to hang out with, she'd be like, well, who's going to be there? And then I would say, and she's like, I don't like that girl. You can't go.
And how old were you guys?
High school. Like
Damn.
15.
How does she know her? Oh,
My
just
mom,
from the
my mom's
from.
very involved in my life.
Oh, I see.
You know, like my mom would pick me up, drop me off. If she didn't know what we were really gonna do, she'd stay there. She's like, fuck it, I'll sit in the car if I need to all day just to watch what's happening. My mom was not very trusting at all. So she knew every single one of my friends. She knew every single one of my friends' parents. Like my mom was not an absent. She was highly involved. She wasn't like a fucking, what are they called? The fucking
Helicopter parent?
She wasn't a helicopter parent.
Yeah.
But when it came to just my safety, she just felt like, come on, dude. The first time we were going to go fucking to Paris, our first international flight,
yeah.
she sent, what was that fucking video she wanted me to watch?
She's like, watch this. And it was Taken. With
right.
Liam.
Taken.
Yeah.
She's like, just prepare yourself. Because this is, so that's what her mind is
She
thinking.
thought you were going to be drugged and turned into a brothel fucking prostitute.
Yeah. So now imagine me in high school when I'm an extra hot commodity because I'm like virgin blood. She's like watching me as like a fucking hot.
That was a good movie though. I'm glad she told us to watch it.
It was a good movie, but I'm like, this is so unrealistic.
Yeah, I like how we were. What were we, like 23 or something? 24
for sure.
And then she was like, "Watch this."
Yeah, she's like, "Prepare yourself. You need to watch that." And I'm like, and then when I watched it, I was like, "Oh my god, mom, it was fucking cute."
Yeah.
But yeah, in high school, she just knew the lifestyle of my friends' parents and like their status and everything and what they did for a living and stuff. And she's like, I don't like how they're raising that daughter, and I don't want you to be around her.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, now, right, as I'm older, I'm like, thank you. But then I'm like, what the fuck? You don't even know her. She's so sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's got my back no matter what.
Yeah. I might have been the other kid. But the parents are like, you need to stay the fuck away from my kid.
Yeah. If you're as mischievous and if my mom found out you got kicked out, it'd be no. Like, is Bart going to be there? You can't hang out.
I even got that from my own uncle. In elementary school, when I was getting in so much trouble, my mom's brother.
Yeah.
Like when I would go visit in Taiwan, like, I don't want your kid around my kid. From my own uncle.
Yeah, I feel like Taika's going to get in that space.
And I'm like, damn. Like, we're family, though.
How close-minded, right?
I'm like, damn, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that to me is a huge. So I get both sides. The first one is especially,
and I'm like 10, you know.
Especially that's what I was about to say.
I'm
Especially
like,
when you're in that highly influential phase, which would be like junior high, about to enter high school. Yeah, I would start guiding my kid to like, nah, that's bad news. You can't, you know. And obviously they're gonna want to do it even more, but I would really try to have that conversation of like, hey, you need to pick and choose your friends wisely. But anything younger than that, I'm like, it ain't that big of a deal. What the fuck? I can handle my kids. But anyone older, I'm like, oh, fuck. They're going into that, this is my life. I do what I want phase. And it's like, oh, fuck, I remember that phase. I'm like, I thought I knew, not everything. I was never that stupid. But I thought like, I see the world differently than my parents. And I'm like, I think I know what I'm talking about. It sounds like I knew everything, huh? That's stupid.
I remember being at the park and the one in LA, and there's this kid that was at the playground playing with Taika, and he saw me and he goes, I watch your vlogs. And I'm like, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Why?
I don't know. I just didn't want to be like, I like it when like I feel like everyone's on equal ground. They're just kids playing with kids. I don't want.
Oh, and the kid told that to Taika?
Well, if you watch my vlogs and you watch Taika, you know about Taika's upbringing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't want like some guy to like show up, even though that kid's probably, I don't know, like fucking 10 or something. I didn't want a kid to come in like knowing all kinds of like information about Taika for some reason.
Oh, that's interesting. Then you should have not have him in vlogs for this whole fucking life, Bart.
Yeah, I do want him in vlogs. I just don't want to fucking meet the weirdos that are gonna say shit like that.
But how do you know they're a weirdo?
I could just, anyone that sees someone and goes, I watch your vlogs, is fucking weird. Especially when you're a kid like that.
His best friend says he watches him on TV.
That's CUNY.
What the fuck? What's the difference?
Because that's his best friend and they go to the same school. So that's
If it makes sense in
CUNY.
your head, fine.
That's CUNY.
Fine. Whatever. But yeah, you fucking married a weird person. That can be a total fucking recluse, hermit, fucking completely isolated, and I think I'd be okay. I think I might need interaction maybe like once a month where I'm like, okay, I need to talk to someone. And then I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm good. Leave me alone. Weird, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I went to the depths of my brain as I was fucking so lonely in my room. I think my room was probably this size. Yeah, I think my room was probably this size, but I had a king size bed because I guess my dad got a fucking deal. So every room had a king size bed, or either that, or he paid full price for it because then he probably thought his brothers and shit would sleep over. I don't know what it was, but yeah. So 80% of my room was a bed, and then I just had this little strip because I had a big ass fucking, what are they called? Like a
Dresser? Yeah.
So I had like this little strip, and I remember I would exercise there, and then like my closet had those mirror slider doors, and I would just practice makeup or like just teenager shit, you know? Like I would decorate my room all day, but I was just there my whole life.
Sounds sad.
And you grew up with a really fucked up childhood. How dare you call my shit sad?
Well, at least I did the right thing, and I would sneak out and
Yeah,
run
I
away
was
from
too
home,
scared,
run away
man.
from home and experience life. You know, I would like leave at like midnight.
Yeah.
I would like set little alarms so I could wake up, and then like
Maybe your parents messed up by living in a safe neighborhood. And you're a dude, so it's also different. Because I was not in a safe neighborhood, and I'm a chick, and maybe I was just a little bitch. That I'm like, a lot of people want this ass.
I mean, there's probably
And that's not even true, but like that's in my head. I'm like, they want young girl ass.
I just needed to get out. I couldn't stay boxed in like that. I needed to get out somehow.
Damn, you're brave. Because
Yeah.
I was just like, the only time I ever snuck out was once, and I was 23, maybe 24.
That's what I realized about rebellious kids. If you don't give them what they want, it's gonna be worse. You know. So if all they want to do is go to a school dance, you might as well let them do that. Because if not, they're gonna go raving and do drugs. You know what I mean? So I think that's where it's like, oh, you're not gonna let me like play sports in high school, then I'm just gonna go fight on the streets. Like, you know, it's like that kind of stuff.
Damn.
Yeah, you don't let me like hang out, then when I sneak out, I'm gonna do all kinds of drugs and smoke weed and do whatever, you know?
Yeah. Play with friends in my head. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, we got a lot to look forward to, don't we?
Yeah. Well, I'm really happy that we had such interesting childhoods, and we felt so like not belonging, because I think that's really a great sign where those are some things that we really care about. So the minute we see that Taika has those signs, we know what to do. You know? We go,
probably
oh,
you
man.
more than me.
No, you're the loser.
Aw, wait, you got kicked out of everything. So you're a loser too.
No, you're a loner loser.
Fine, you're a fucking popular loser.
Yeah.
All right, loser.
Yeah, we're both losers, but at least I was a cool loser.
Yeah, I was never.
You're
cool.
a loner loser.
I am a loner
that no one
loser.
liked.
I was an artsy loner loser that liked listening to fucking cool music and watching dope movies.
Yeah.
That's why I know so many fucking songs and fucking movies. I love it. Oh, I miss movies. Anyway, on that note, do you have anything else to say, you fucking loser?
Nope.
All right then. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.